What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Truck Driver Sean YouTube channel. Today, we're coming at you with another pedal in the series that Richard over at Airis is doing. What he's doing, he's kind of making little preamp pedals with older preamp or older sounding amps that kind of have a special place in a lot of people's hearts, right? So what he's done with this one, it is called the Dark Force. It is based on a Mesa Mark IV. So he simplified it. Obviously, if you've played a Mesa Mark IV, you know you have infinite options on that thing. It's ridiculous. So he took some of the options away. Some you probably will not be happy about. Some you won't even give a shit about. And if you've never played a Mark IV and you just want something that's angry, well, the Dark Force is for you. The Dark Force is with you. All right. So, cost on this thing, get that right out of the way. If you are in Canada, the homeland, that is where Airis is from. It's going to run you 229 Canadian Monopoly monies, whatever those things are, because they don't look like money. It's so American of me to say that, isn't it? Hey. In the US, it is $169. Oddly enough, sooner or later you're not gonna be able to get Airis pedals that cheap because the cost of things are going up, the supplies to build them, and right now Richard's being super fair with his prices, so not that I want to like tell you go buy something from Airis Effects, because I never want to tell you to go buy something, but if you wanted to get something from Airis Effects, his prices right now are killing everybody. You're getting a whole lot of pedal for $169. Anyway, you have 3 knobs, 2 toggles, okay? 6 knobs, sorry, and 2 toggles. So on this side, you have gain, which, hey, it's gain. It literally is self-explanatory. It's just how much gain is going to go into your clean channel, your effects return, into your DAW, whatever you're going to use it at, right? And then you have a drive, which is sort of like a second gain for stage 2. I call it the coloring gain. Sometimes you want super tight gain. Sometimes you want like a vintage sounding, like nasty gain. You play with that drive and then dial your gain in, move them around, and you'll find your happy spot. It's a very versatile pedal. You can get a lot of tones out of it. Volume is literally how loud this thing's going to be. Now, if you're not using this, matter of fact, no matter what you're doing with this, it's just easier if you do this as a standard rule. Start with the volume all the way down. Myself, I used it into a power amp that is powered by EL34s. I am running it on 25% and it is crushingly loud. Any louder than that, things start to clip and starts to get kind of nasty sounding. Like, not nasty in a good way, like nasty in a bad way. So yeah, just be very mindful of that volume. It doesn't have to be cranked. It's as soon as you start turning it, it's starting to get pretty loud really quick, right out the snap. You know what I'm saying? All right, over here you have your EQ, if you want to call it, but the EQ is a little bit different. So you have your treble, and it's how much bite is in the actual gain. Okay? Again, with the shape, the mid-range, you're shaping the mid-range into the distortion, not like on its own. It's going right into this, call it a distorted mid-range, if you will. You turn it up a little bit, instead of just adding a shit ton of mids, you're also adding just a little bit of grit to it, right? Bass is kind of self-explanatory, which I just kind of said that not self-explanatory, but it's how much low end goes into your signal, right? So then you have your bright and your fat. Now your bright, you never guess what that does. Well, yeah, it probably makes things a little brighter, but it is sort of like a little treble bump. And the fat is a fat cutter. You flick it up, it cuts that fat. All right, so you can get stuff a little more tight. But if you leave it down, you can get real sludgy gore grind and stuff like that with it. Super crazy versatile. It's a very simple pedal. Even though it seems like it has a lot going on, it's very simple. Get your tone, play around with it. It's super reactive. You know, just like obviously I'm going through a power amp that's tube driven. But you're going to get this to be like super duper awesome. It's a thing. You're gonna love it if you like the Mark series. The Mark IV is kind of famous. You know, obviously they're up to Mark 7 now. No one knows what happened to the Mark 6, so before you put it in there, remember, right now we're going with the theory that Mark 6 was made by somebody who didn't sign off on it, and they knew the deal with Gibson was coming down, and Gibson didn't want this person to be part of the business, so they killed that design because the design was not theirs until it was in production, right? And they got Mach 7. Really like to play that Mach 6. So if anybody on the internet knows who designed that, who got let go, tell them to contact A, B, C, or D companies and, call it the Steve 6 or something. I don't know. The Roger Dodger 6. The Your Mother's a Whore 6. I don't know. Do whatever the fuck you want. All right, very cool. And remember, these pedals from Airis Effects, there's 9 out of 10 times, a dog took this to the post office for you. How fucking cool is that? One of these days, I'm going to do a thing where I'm going to have everybody send me like some dog treats and stuff to my house, and then I'm going to send that to Richard's dog. I have a feeling Richard gets gifts and stuff all the time, but who's treating the dog? I mean, he's in a slave labor camp, you know? It's a joke. It's Richard's buddy. He's not he's not abused. It's just funny to say. Yeah. But this right here, this thing, yes. This right here. That thing is sick. Let's find out what makes this thing sick. Shall we? Okay, so oh shit, I gotta turn the let's turn the amp on. Alright, so I am geared today. I am using obviously the Dark Force, which on the other end of it, because it's a super noisy pedal by the way, so you're gonna need a noise gate. Just saying. You're gonna need one or tolerate Hiss City, okay? I have a little $20 from Amazon noise gate. I'm using my custom shop Gorilla, which by the way, that's a lot of Canada in one video. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Canada! Like the beers and the brats, eh? Alright, so the sound's coming out of my custom Arachnid 2x4s. Alright? Yeah. This is showing up like super bright in the little screen over there. It's kind of cool. Alright, so let's see what we sound like just clean on. Believe it or not, due to contrary I believe, you do have to plug your guitar in for it to work. That's how you know I'm not faking this shit. Let's try that again. Jesus Christ. Alright, as you can tell, clean is clean. That is. That's clean as shit. Alright, so what we're going to do now, we're going to get funky. Alright, everything's all cool. Everything's at noon. All toggles down. Okay, yeah. So we're going to push the gain here a little bit. Alright, so this is where you're going to see things happen. So the gain is on 75%. Now we're just going to add a little bit of that drive. Okay, now we got treble, mids, and distorted mid-range, but before we get into that, I want to take a look at that bright and the fat, because you're really going to see what it does in this. Alright, here we go. Go to the bright. Now we do the fat. Alright, now we're going to play with the treble, the mid-range, and the bass. Dial the taste. We're going to do it in that order. Treble, mids, bass. So there you go, man. As you can tell, it's simple. It does the thing. It gets nutty. It takes overdrives extremely well, which we'll do another video on that a little later on. I just want to show you what this pedal does by itself. Okay? I don't know why she squeals so loud without the noise gate on, because it's not helping the power section, obviously, because it is what it is. It's just helping from the speakers that I sit literally a foot longer than my arm span away from squealing. Okay? Yeah. Very cool. Hey, if you like this video, subscribe. Could use the subscribers. Like, everybody else's channels is growing and mine's sitting still. But I refuse to keep doing it the way that I'm doing it. So don't tell me, just change a video, put a cute little intro in and, record a track. Fuck you. I want to know what the gear does. Who cares what kind of song I can write? Does anybody actually give a shit? Yeah. So yeah, cool beans. Huge thanks to Richard for getting this out to me in quite the jiffy. And yeah, it's going to be a cool little series. He's doing a whole bunch of these. I'm not allowed to let some of the info out of the bag, but I have another one I'm getting ready to do. Matter of fact, in about 10 minutes. All right. Very cool. Catch you next video. Later.